Hello everyone, Manny here with another quick thought video. This time this is something else that's been bothering me for a little while, and I think we kind of need to know this in order to understand why the world of Fallout 4 looks the way it does. So in this episode we're going to be talking about what is the workshop. Okay, so for this video I want to answer a couple of questions, or pose a couple of questions that I've been trying to get some answers to. Namely, what is the workshop, who created it, and what are its capabilities? Do structures in Fallout 4 look the way they do because the citizens have no access to the workshop? Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is what is the workshop. Like, the only time that I actually hear the game talk about the workshop in a sense of lore is in the Vault-Tec DLC expansion, where the overseer asks you to dig her out of the settlement, basically because she couldn't. So if you guys don't know about the Vault-Tec DLC, this is some spoilers, okay? So if you don't want to know, just cut it right there. But I mean, it wasn't really all that big of a deal. Anyways, so when you get to Vault 88, the overseer comes over the intercom and says, "Oh, do you have a Pip-Boy? Because we were attempting to open the door to Vault 88." So we say yes, we have a Pip-Boy, and the overseer gets ecstatic. It says, "Well, then you can operate the Vault-Tec workshop." Now, I want to go on ahead and throw that out here while we're just, starting this conversation. The Vault-Tec workshop and the settlement workshops look differently. They look different. The only real thing that they have in common is that they do the same thing. But the Vault-Tec workshop had an additional condition where it needed you to find its programming chips. The name escapes me. But that goes to reason that maybe the workshops in the Commonwealth aren't quite as sophisticated. Yes, they do the same things, but Now, what I was thinking about was that I had read somewhere, I've been trying to find it, but I haven't been able to find the actual proof, but it said that Vault-Tec created the workshop in order to help society rebuild. And while that's great and all that they're everywhere, I believe you have to have a Pip-Boy in order to access the actual workshop. Now, that being said, what is the workshop? Because, okay, if you start to build something and you access the workshop, you get that, the workshop terminal, and that's how it looks in game. How it would look in the real world, I honestly couldn't tell you, but they tend to be able to do things that we normally can't do. Like, I'm gonna just take this as an instance. In the Vault-Tec DLC, you're asked to clear the rubble. Now, in the loop that's probably playing in the background, you guys can see that I've actually been able to move the rubble through mods just to see how much rubble was really there. And it's impressive. Like, if you take a look at it, there are giant cranes in the rubble, huge pieces of concrete and things like that, and I find it hard to see that I could actually clear that with a shovel, man. I mean, other places, like, let's say you went to Starlight Drive-In and you were like, well, I need to go ahead and scrap all these cars. But how are you scrapping those cars? I mean, I know we're opening the workshop and we're pressing a button, but in the lore sense, what's really happening? To me, I feel that the workshop is advanced technology, something that comes out of Big Mountain and places like that, because Fallout 4 makes it seem like the world is very stupid, but in previous Fallout games there was a lot of advanced technology. I mean, hell, in New Vegas you could become partial cyborg, which was awesome, and that's no mods, that was the actual game with some DLC. So if that begs the question that the workshop can do everything, does that make it like magic? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me refer to it that way in a few videos of the magic workshop, and that's frankly because I don't really see how it can do what it does. And then from a lore friendly building standpoint, how do I know what's lore friendly? This is what actually started this whole debate in my head of, if you build a lore friendly settlement and it looks the way that the other buildings look, in Fallout, yeah, I could say that that's lore friendly, but are those buildings built the way they are because those people didn't have access to the workshop? They literally had to make nails. They had to like hammer, bent pieces of wood. They had to take scrap that they found and, incorporate it and make it work. I don't know. So at the end of this, we honestly have no questions answered. For me, I believe that the workshops were created by Vault-Tec. I believe they created them to help rebuild society, and I also believe that no one can use them because they don't have a Pip-Boy. Like, not many people in the Wasteland have Pip-Boys. Now, if you think about it, let's go back to Vault 81, where we find our friend Curie. That place looks really nice. Everything inside of it's looking good. Even on the outside, there are things that were actually like placed, like the security desk that you gain access to with the Vault 88 DLC. So it begs the question, do those guys have access to their own workshop? Because you can't build in Vault 81. They don't allow it. But that being said, it'd be kind of foolish for Vault 88 to have a workshop and Vault 81 not to have a workshop. But if you notice, inside Vault 81, it's all Vault-Tec standard. Everything's clean. Everything's built properly. No one's hammering nails and things like that. Now, on the outside, there are a few things, namely some scaffolding. But that scaffolding actually looks pretty decent. So, I don't know. But anyways, I think that I have kind of ranted on about this long enough. And I don't think I have enough information. But the problem is there are no like references for this. Like, I went and I checked out the wiki for the workshop, but it has no like lore about it. And all it says is that the workshop is used to create thriving settlements, which is nice, but that still doesn't explain how it does it. And yes, I know it's just a game, but it's fun to talk about this stuff. It's fun to like speculate and hypothesize how things work. And like, for me personally, I want to understand the lore friendly building, because I'm going to try to do a little bit of it, but in my current mindset, I just don't understand it, because nothing should be lore friendly, because the Vault-Tec workshop is lore friendly. You build what you're capable of as long as you have the building and the building materials. But I don't know, man. So let's hash it out in the comments. Let's find out what's going on. And then you guys let me know if you guys know any places I can get some lore on this, because I'd really like to do a talk on it, man. But like I said, there's just no information. Anyways, man, I've gone on long enough. Make sure you put what you think in the comments below. Like if you like, dislike if you do. And I will see you all on the next talk. Take care, guys.